Function with Purpose podcast. All things health, wellness, fitness, and education through the physical therapy perspective. I am Dr. Amy Bullock, owner and founder of Fortress Physical Therapy. Fortress PT is here to serve the Charlotte metro area by highlighting the importance of how and why physical therapy should be a part of your health and wellness lifestyle. Here we go. Welcome to Season 9, Episode 8 of the Function with Purpose podcast. This is the last episode of Season 9. Dr. Amy here with you guys. Thank you again for joining in. In case you didn't know, I actually upgraded my mic recently. Shout out to Dr. Zach Long. Thanks for the input. I appreciate it. Oh, man. This topic, just so that you know, I'm going to get a little bit heated with this, but I love my title. Don't poo-poo your profession. Physical therapists, attention. Do not poo-poo on your profession. Oh my gosh. A particular patient of mine comes to my mind regarding this. And clearly, today's episode is going to be about physical therapy. I think it's extremely important for us physical therapists out there. We need to start stepping our shit up. And it doesn't mean that you have to step your shit up worldwide, but you need to step your shit up in your circle and quit downgrading and promoting these poor expectations within our field. And if you're not progressing yourself and you're not building confidence or competence, which then leads to increased confidence, you're not only doing yourself a disservice, clearly you're doing your patients a disservice, and you're really shitting on the physical therapy profession because you are not helping us progress in the right direction, because we need to change the language that's going on here. I will tell you a very quick, it might be long, I don't know, story. Calm down, Amy. Zen. Of a patient who's still my patient, and we're continuing progressing because she had a knee surgery earlier this year. Of some previous interactions with some other physical therapists. Of course, I'm not going to disclose names or anything because that would be bad on my part. But hear me out. This patient that I've been working with, and who is actually now one of my good friends, was seeing a physio in the Charlotte area. Could be in South Carolina. I don't know. I don't know where he practices. But anywho, she wanted to get in and test out her leg strength. And there's a particular machine that you use, especially for like post-surgery, and in this case it would be an ACL, just to kind of get some baselines on where the knee strength was. So she was trying to connect with this physio that she was, I'll air quote, working with, and unfortunately was not able to get on this particular machine because it was scheduled, it was filled for like the next 3 months. And she's like, well, that's not good. Like, I need it now because we haven't done any baseline strength of my quad muscle. So while interacting with this particular professional, air quote, my patient was texting him back and forth, and was basically like, oh, well, I'm sorry. And she's like, well, I think I'm just going to go a different route and stick to the gym. And he already knew that she was working with me here and there. And just kind of just get consistent on that end, because I can't do these random things or randomly show up at the clinic and not even be seen, really, by you. And she didn't really put it that way, but, you can kind of read between the lines. And the end of the conversation was super transactional. I'll just leave it as that. I'm not going to say what happened. And right then and there, this patient was relaying this story and this interaction that she had with this particular physio in the clinic, and my mouth just like dropped. And I hear so much of this, and it's so frustrating. Yes, I know we can blame it on the environment and who we work for. We work for this big company in the surrounding Charlotte area, and they're all about productivity, this, that, and the other. Well, I'm going to read between the lines, and it sounds like you're unhappy. Because I was in your position. I was in your position 100%. I used to work for a big name clinic. And that's all they pushed for was productivity. And if someone wasn't on your schedule or you had a 2-hour gap, guess what? They made you freaking clock out. What am I going to do for freaking 2 hours? Drive home, in which I live 30 minutes away, maybe go to the bathroom and then drive back? No. I know there's already an issue with our profession to begin with. Because when you work for big companies like that, you're actually involved with the medical system. And if you've ever heard me talk about the medical system, that's not the route to go down, because a lot of us should not even be in the medical system. When it comes to the medical system, you seriously have something wrong that's going on with your health, because you are unwell. Perhaps you might have to get an emergency surgery. Maybe someone had a heart attack and they had to get stents put in. Or, they had to get a valve replaced in their heart. They had to get a donor heart. That is a medical emergency. That is life or death. Seeing a physical therapist for an outpatient recovery process in this particular story, post-operative ACL reconstruction, is not a medical issue. So when you work for these big companies that are indirectly associated with the medical system, no. Already right now, based on personal experience, no. As the patient, that is not the route to go. And if you want to go for it. That's totally fine. But I hope you'll find that one good physio that's out there who is not transactional. They work for a big system, but they're not transactional. They actually, truly, deeply have a why to what they're doing and why they're continuing to give the service that they give their patients, no matter if they're getting harped on with productivity. So that's one thing. We are shitting or poo-pooing on our profession because we're so worried about productivity. Well, here's what I think. I think it will be best to have a lot of these solo practitioners, like myself. Because I'll tell you what, I am much happier. I'm my own boss. I make my own schedule. I feel like I'm impacting patients' lives more. Shit, I'm like good friends with this patient right now that I just told a story upon. Who does that? That is how we stop poo-pooing our profession, because it's time to point the arrow elsewhere. Point the arrow to the medical system, because it is extremely dysfunctional, and we know that. But that's okay to start pointing the arrow at a smaller level, right? We have to point it to ourselves first and be like, okay, what am I doing wrong? What are things I can do better? Can I put myself in a better position in order to better serve my patients? I'm going to start my own business. You know what? I'm going to start seeing patients on the side at my house, or I'm going to go to their house because I want to make them better. I want to enhance my skills. I want to truly impact people's lives. That is what drives me in particular every day, right? It's not just getting someone better after a surgery. It's more. It's and then some. It's getting down to the deeper layers, getting down to the nitty-gritty, changing your actual health, wellness, fitness, and recovery to be better, move better, function better, live better. Changing the family tree. I want to lift heavy stuff, put it down, feel strong and resilient about it. And I'm going to learn other things about myself along the way. And then I'm going to translate that over with my patients. And then I'll have this strong bond and connection with my patients. That is how we quit poo-pooing on the physical therapy profession. Oh my gosh. I know my tone just changed. Thanks for hanging in there, though. I could probably talk for days on this. But I hope I really get my point across. I guess, taking CEU courses and going to conferences, just figuring out who to connect with. How can we make our profession better? It's going to start down at the personal level. You got to figure out your why. Quit being transactional. It's not about the money. Because when it comes down to it, we can't take it to the grave, right? You guys heard that saying before. It's not about the money. It will come. It's fine. What is your passion? What is your why? That will help you make yourself a better professional and enhance our own physical therapy profession. I mean, right now as I'm speaking, I kind of maybe want to get into teaching. I don't know. It's kind of where I'm thinking right now. Maybe I do want to serve on a physical therapy board. I don't know. Maybe I want to provide input at my alma mater physical therapy school, University of Findlay, and help promote that there's more to being transactional after school. Maybe I develop a mentor program. I don't know. Anywho, that's where my mind's going. That's how we quit poo-pooing on the physical therapy profession. So, oh man. All right, thanks for hanging in there. That is the last episode of Season 9. And I might be switching some things up. But thanks for the follow, thanks for the listen, and see you guys in Season 10. That's a wrap for today's episode, Function with Purpose Podcast. For more information on this episode, please check out the show notes within your podcast app. Be sure to subscribe, like, share, or drop your comments and questions below. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Thanks for the listen. Pursuit, precision, purpose.